Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. And as you'll see, this is my new tank. No, I'm only joking, this is not my new tank. I've been kindly invited to one of our subscribers on the Friday night live streams, Tom Brooke. And this is his 9-foot 2-inch tank. So I thought, for a new segment of the channel, I thought we'd maybe go around at some people's tanks and have a look at them, see how they set it up. And yeah, so Tom's kindly invited me around to his house, and which I appreciate. And yeah, to have a look at his tank. And all I can say, guys, is just wow. I mean, this is a dream tank for me, for sure. And I'm sure it is for him. But what we'll do is we're going to speak to Tom anyway in a minute. He's going to explain to us what it is, you know, who's obviously made the tank up for him. And yeah, what he's planning on running, as well as his stocking list as well in his tank. I know that he's got some fish, which he's already had from previous tanks, so he's going to be stocking it with that. But it'll be interesting to know his corals as well, what he's going to do. So hopefully you like this. It won't be long. I won't bore you to death, so I'll get straight onto it. And yeah, I'll introduce you to Tom. So Tom.
Hello.
Welcome to the channel, and yeah, thanks for inviting me, mate. I really appreciate it. All I can say is wow. So if you wouldn't mind, explain a little bit about it.
Explain a bit about it. Okay.
Yeah. And basically, how got you into the tank, into the hobby as well?
Into the hobby.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll start with your last one then.
Yeah.
I got into the hobby probably about 15 years ago. My mum had a little 3x1 tank.
Yeah.
And she was in her 60s and she just couldn't she just couldn't carry barrels of water anymore.
Yeah.
Like most people do, the fish were part of the family. They were named. I didn't have it in my heart for her to take it to the local fish shop, so I inherited the tank, and 14-15 years ago I got the addiction like most of us. Went up different tanks, Aqua One, Redsea, and then probably about 5-6 years ago got a custom build in this very room, an 8-foot tank in this very room, and then decided that wasn't enough, so then turned my garage into a fish house. Price of electricity, that just became too much. Yeah. The missus said, you need to, you know, we're fortunate to have a hot tub at the bottom of the garden. It was either the hot tub or the fish tank. She want the hot tub, I want the fish tank. So we had an agreement, and we agreed to get rid of the garage and shut the fish house down and have a bigger system. So yeah, I've got 3 groups of fish that have been together for many years that are all going to go in here. So it's been about a year, about a year planning it with Mick from MBM. He's a good friend of mine. Trying to put as much detail into the build as possible, but still trying to make it, I suppose, easy to maintain and keep it clean, and still have fun without it being a chore.
Absolutely. One thing, like Tom's just touched upon this is made by Mick from MBM. I'll post a link in the description of his channel as well. But he's made, I mean, I've seen a couple of his tanks are radical, and they're just absolutely fantastic. And one thing, what Tom's explained before, is, as you can see, he's not going to be running any wave makers or anything. So the aesthetics look of it is going to just be absolutely fantastic. I've not brought my orange filter lens, which I should have. But as you can see, it's just a straight line all the way down. There's going to be no, like, you know, vortex or any gyres or anything like that. The power is going to be coming from some Rolls-Royce engines, which we have. We have the Red Dragons. Some of these, as you know, the Royal exclusive ones, absolutely fantastic. But well, they're basically the Rolls-Royce of the return pumps. He's going to be running these. These are two 12,000, so 24,000 litres an hour. Obviously, he's not going to be running that, I don't think. He also has the ozone, which is all going to be linked up. He's still in the build process of it. He's not rushing it, which is the best thing. But one thing I did really like is this. Obviously, this is the Neptune. This is the flow sensor. Flow sensor is actually dialed it in to two UV sterilizers, so you can basically dial it into exactly how you want, how much flow goes through there, which is fantastic. And obviously, I love the idea Only wish that we could have the space in our tanks to be able to do that. But as you can see, all custom, red piping, tubing. It's got the flow adjusters and everything. This is the Deltec. This is the Deltec.
It's the KM500S.
The Deltec, yeah, the Aquascape stirrer. And what's great is Mick has built like a platform in the sump here, so it sits absolutely perfect. It's got the S1. Is this the S1? This is the S1 for the UV, which is good, obviously, as you can see. It's going to be coming from underneath the couch stirrer straight up into there, and then obviously it passes through. So they've linked them both together, and then obviously it comes through this tubing, which I've just said, goes through the flow meter, and then he can dial it into perfection. Another thing, obviously, with it coming down the tubes, down the downflow here, it's going to be running through this baffle system here. And then what did you call this? What was this called? What did he say it was called?
A trickle filter system.
A trickle filter. So Mick came up with this along with Tom, called a trickle filter, which is fantastic. These little baskets, we've just got the holes in them, as you can see. And then he's just going to stock them with these like bio balls. Got a fair few bio balls in there, as you can see, guys. He's running all that, and then that is a new system that they've designed, which I think is fantastic. He's going to be putting media crate, which is going to be sitting on top of here, as you can see. And he's just going to put some filter floss, and then obviously change that every maybe 2 or 3 days or so, which is perfect. Along here, these are new titanium, not titanium, sorry, carbon fibre, aren't they? Carbon fibre heaters.
I got from Andy at Radical the weekend.
Yeah, so he picked these up from Radical. I'll post a picture here of what the name of them. I've forgotten them off the top of my head. What were they called?
Hugo, yeah, I've got one of the boxes.
Hugo.
Yeah, let's have a look. I'll show you the box.
Yeah.
Show everybody what it looks like.
Tom's just getting the box out. Here we go. And this is them. Design products. Hugo Kamisha, and basically carbon fibre heaters, and they come on and they actually have a controller to them as well. So that's perfect.
Come with their own little remote control.
And their own little remote control. He's saying here.
Which is a bit smart, a bit snazzy.
Yeah.
Or you can run it on a controller like the Reef Factory thermal controller.
Oh, can you?
Right. You can't go over 600 because you need to run it on 2, otherwise there's a chance it can melt. So
right, I see.
Share them on. Yeah, they
got
go
you.
to 1,000 watt, those ears.
Wow, wow. And what are these ones? These are...
The controllable from...
No, what are these ones?
They go up to 1,000.
1,000? Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So you have to control them, that's what I'm saying.
I see.
So if you're running them on a temperature controller, like a Reef Factory or D&D or anything like that,
yeah.
you need to run it at less than 600.
Wow.
Or 2,
wow.
the size of your tank.
Flipping heck, that is just insane. That is madness, isn't it?
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Jesus. So he was explaining this. I've actually forgotten exactly. So what is this, Tom?
This is the KZ media reactor. So it's basically carbon dosing for anybody that knows anything about carbon dosing.
Yeah.
So in a way, you're growing. It's all about bacteria, basically.
Yeah.
You're trying to cultivate a stream of bacteria that will basically consume and break down.
Right.
Not just organics, but mainly your high levels of nutrient control. So it's good for if you want to feed a lot into your system, whether it be corals, fish, or a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's just a good way of having a natural source of basically breaking down high phosphate, high nitrate levels. So with that and with the skimmer, that allows me to not have to do as many water changes as I probably should do, but still be able to feed the tank what it needs.
Right, I see. So so obviously Tom's just explained that this is run off a separate pump here. What's this? Is this
That's
a pump that you had to buy?
It's a German Aqua that comes with the kit.
Right.
It's with a flow controller on it, so you can control how much flow comes through the actual chamber.
Right.
It's got reverse magnets, so basically what you do every day, you create what they call a pulp.
Yeah.
And that basically feeds the corals, believe it or not. So that runs like that, and the mulm, should I say, sorry, comes through these holes out of this exit pipe here.
Right. Yeah.
It will pass the skimmer and it will go into the return pump.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah, and going on to the skimmer, guys, that's this is another Rolls-Royce piece. This is a Royal Exclusive 250. Just look at the size. I mean, I thought my hands were big, but look at the size of that, guys. That is just absolutely ginormous piece of equipment. But we didn't mention what what is the total volume of the tank, Tom? And this,
it's just short of 1,400 litres, give or take.
1,400 litres
with the rock. So yeah,
wow.
A little bit there.
So 1,400 litres. Is that including the sump as well?
That's including the sump.
So
yeah,
all in.
All in.
Right.
Yeah.
So 1,400 litre, guys. So yeah, this needs to be a big motor to take out the stuff out of there. And like I said, I touched on this before. He's running 2 Royal Exclusive 12,000 Red Dragon return pumps as well. And this is the other heater.
Actually, yeah, just as a backup.
Yeah, as a backup. He's running that as a backup. And then just look at all the power. I mean, a lot better than my cable management, which I set up. I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Cable management is a must, especially in a build like this. This is just like
one thing we did
insane.
was quite a good idea.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
yeah.
it was Mick and Nick that came up with this. Is that we've actually got a false back.
Yeah.
So this panel here, you can feed all the cables behind.
Ah.
You don't see them.
Got you. So you basically made this sump smaller.
So we made this sump slightly smaller to allow another panel.
Yeah.
So, because one of my bugbears is having a really nice looking tank.
Yeah, and having cables.
And opening the cupboard and it just looked like...
Totally get it.
So we put a lot of thought into that. Even this, a little bit of red part that was left over for the build, that's where all the dosing lines are going to come through.
Yeah, fantastic.
So again, keeps it as neat as possible.
Yeah. So the pump, all the cables are all going to be coming through here.
Yeah, the dosing lines will come through here and they'll get linked to the droplets there.
Yeah, fantastic. And dosing and the dosing machines you run in the Reef factory ones, aren't you, Tom?
Yeah. I purchased them a bit ago.
Yeah.
I know everybody has ups and downs with different manufacturers and things going right, things going wrong, but I've never had any issues, and I think they look the biz. I just like the size of them for one.
Yeah.
I think they're quite compact. Do what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
A little bit of OCD, as you can see, so it has to match. But if you started, you might as well finish.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And as you can see, he's running. So he's got 7 there. He's got 7 there, so it's 14. One thing that I am going to pick up myself is Tom's sent me the link, and I'll post a link here as well, below as well, of these little dosing bottles. Now, we do struggle in getting these, these bottles this small. But what I'm thinking is for running on mine, and Tom's doing the same, is I'm going to be dosing some, aminos and stuff like that. Obviously stuff that doesn't need to be put in fridges or anything like that. Strontium, and like you said, and you can just run it off the dosers. And I think that's a fantastic idea. And these things, and they're not that dear. I'm looking at them. I think they're about £14, Tom. I'll link the link below. And so you can go and check them out, and if you and the energy, the space saving as well. Not much footprint that they take up. So I think I might hang them on the inside of my door. Obviously, limited space in my tank. Some at Tom's not got that problem. One thing I do want to mention over here, Tom, is this area here. What are you going to be running in here? Because it's just
that's me auto top up.
Oh, right, I see.
One of the biggest bugbears of having a big tank. It's obviously evaporation.
So how much is in there?
From memory, it's 85 litres.
So an 85 litres,
top up.
Right.
We'll have to see if it's enough.
Exactly, yeah.
But I didn't want barrels everywhere, because it's not having it nice and neat and having loads of barrels everywhere.
That was one thing when I first thought about it. I thought, well, where's the RO going to come from, the top up? Are you going to do it manually? I was thinking, but no.
I did talk to the missus about teeing into the garage, but that conversation didn't go well. So,
And
calcium reactor,
calcium reactor, just look at the size. I mean, God knows how much media is in there, but there's quite some pounds in there, isn't there?
There's a mixture of your normal,
of
your normal calcium media, plus a bit of magnesium flake in there as well.
Got you.
Degassing chamber at the back, which is a big must if you're in a calcium reactor.
Yeah.
Hence why we've got the Calcasa stir on the build as well.
Just there it is.
Because obviously effluent coming out of calcium reactor comes out normally, like we said earlier, 6, 7, 6, 8.
Yeah.
Under 7 anyway. pH I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's naturally going to pull your pH of your tank down. So by running a Calcasa stir or Calcasa system to compensate for that, it keeps the pH healthy while still feeding the corals and helping them grow with what they need.
Got you.
So,
yeah.
And that's what the come over for. The come over stepper there, it won't be there for long. It'll probably end up sitting on top of there, for example. And then the in and out line will feed on the back of the tank.
Is that the STP one? STP in it?
It's the Wi-Fi one.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Again, I'm a bit of a geek. Everything is a bit easier from a mobile than a laptop these days. So.
Oh, for sure. And as you can see, He's going to be running a level keeper as well as
There's
the
another thermal controller going on, so there'll be 2 thermal controllers, one level keeper.
Yeah.
KH keeper.
Yeah.
Trident. Bit of a rivalry at the minute. Two brands as to who's Man City, Man United. I don't know who's the best, but yeah, that's
absolutely
what we're gonna do.
Absolutely. Well, you all know the problems I've been having with my KH keeper, but touch wood, everything's perfect with the new one now. And then just there, he's got a smart feeder as well, a Reef Factory smart feeder. This is another thing that I'm thinking of getting, to be honest, guys. I mean, it's not as big as I thought, to be honest, so it might fit in the cabinet. I'll just have to measure it, but yeah, I mean, these are proven and tested, aren't they? You know, these ones. And I think I'd probably edge towards this. And then finally, but not forgetting, he's also running a Teco chiller. Yeah. Something that many of us don't really run on our tanks, to be fair. In fact, I think I only know 2 people, yourself, just you and one person who runs these. But Tom was saying, obviously he's running underneath here. I'll just briefly show you here. He's running T5s as well as a mix of, it's got Reef Brights, and then he's also running the orpheks as well. So a lot of heat that could be going in, especially with the T5s and stuff. But he was mentioning there that he's got this temperature fan controller, which basically, if it gets to a certain point, he's got this duct in here that'll take the heat out, suck it out with, correct out.
It runs across the kitchen into the downstairs toilet, so it's literally on an extractor.
Yeah.
So if anything gets a little bit too warm in there, rather than it putting too much pressure on the T5s, it will just pull it out and hopefully control the ambient temperature. Plus we've got the chiller as obviously as a backup. Exactly.
So he's honest to God, so himself and Mick have thought of absolutely everything. He said he's going to be tidying up a bit of a button up here, but you can't. One good thing with it though, Tom, to be fair, is at least it's covered up and it's you won't see that.
That was the deal I had with the missus.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't have this up, that's a bit of a problem in it, but you know, you've got that. You've got that there, so yeah, my missus will be more than happy if I had something like that, for sure. And then going on to this the scape, obviously, you see this crush. I thought it was like a calcium, like you put into a media reactor, but Tom.
No, it's the Aquamedic. It's I got it from somebody I know. To be fair, it's quite hard to get hold of. There's a bit of debate between me and some of my friends, I'll be honest, in terms of how it's going to turn out in 6 months' time, and we've got some coralline algae growing. I'm confident with me running the ozone a couple of hours a day, that I won't see that, because I want to try and create a natural sort of sandbed look. The one thing I hate with sand is sand dunes, I'll be honest. And it's always where you don't want one. Obviously you're focusing on giving your corals, you know, and your tank as much flow as possible. Hence the design without having the wave makers. So I wanted a heavy substrate that could stay sat on the bottom, that isn't going to blow all over the place.
Got you.
And I think, and
especially if you've got wrasses, who bury themselves and stuff.
And as I said to you earlier, Mogsy, the thing that a lot of us don't appreciate is the amount of bacteria in your tank, and especially when you start a new one, you've got to get that nitrifying bacteria growing and thriving. And the best way to do it is to have. You know, I'm going to create a debate about bare bottom and sand, because I've been there and I've done both. But if you've got a good size substrate like that, it does increase and kickstart a tank a lot better. For sure. No, totally get you, mate. And like touching back on what I mentioned earlier on, we've been running the 2 returns, the Royal Exclusive. Running these, obviously, he's got these where he can adjust the flow to perfection, the float valve, so he can adjust them to to whatever he wants. So you know, these are preventing him from putting wave makers on the side, which in my eyes, to be honest, is the best thing, really, to be fair, Tom, because you just got that aesthetic look then of just the tank. You know what I mean? You're not going to have gyres on the sides, on either side, or like you said, vortex or anything like that. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. That's where the idea of the scape came from, because it was wanting, you know, we talked about it on your channel a couple of weeks ago. For me, I know you're going to laugh at this when I say it again, but it is going to be frags. We're not going to go out and buy colonies. You know, I get a kick from seeing stuff grow. I don't get as much of a kick from buying it already grown. But each their own.
Absolutely.
Hence why, you know, it's not going to be a case of putting a frag everywhere I can put a frag. There's been a lot of time. I've spoke to Mick about it in great length about coral placement. You know, it is going to be SPS only. Majority of them are going to want a good amount of power and flow. So we're going to be putting it's going to be all that. It's going to be Acropora.
Yeah. So that touches on what we was going to mention. Is like Tom's just alluded to there. He's going to be running all SPS. His missus, she prefers the euphyllias, a bit like my missus, to be fair. She prefers the euphilia, the flow, but Tom, he's got his eyes set on all SPS. So like he's just mentioned before, he's only going to put minimal frags, small frags, and let them all grow out, which is the best. Obviously, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's run these sort of things before, these tanks, and stuff like that.
So but I'm trying to find my wish list of the corals. Because like the Sado, I've spent so much time deciding what corals I was going to put in it. I don't think I can find them now. But yeah, I'm just going old school. I mean, I like some of the name stuff that's going around these days. Don't get me wrong. But I'm still a big fan of some old school.
Normal like barley slimers and stuff.
Barley slimers we talked about earlier. A big, and you can't beat a big fluffy purple milker, which I think you've got.
Absolutely.
You've got purple
stylopolar. For sure.
All that sort of stuff. I like the old school stuff. I'm still into trying something new, so it's going to be Millies, Teniuses, there'll be a bit of Enchinata, like we said earlier, Stags, but the placement for me is key, and that's why Colin at R&R, who I had the original skate one, because as you can probably notice, they look completely different in terms of colour. Obviously this skate came out of my redsea 625 that I was running for a couple of years. So it already looks like it's sort of matured.
Yes, it does.
And obviously the one on the left is the brand new one.
Yeah, you can tell, But obviously that won't take long before that one goes exactly the same.
I'm hoping it'll look the same.
Yeah, it will do, for sure.
Yeah, for me it's the placement, which is why the rock isn't touching the glass. There's room for fish to hide behind, to swim through. And again, as I said to you earlier, for what it's worth, my version of what a colony is around the sort of size of your hand. So if you sort of put your hand all over the rock without sounding silly, you can sort of work out, even if it's not tomorrow, in 3-4 years time, what it's going to look like. And if you work it backwards that way, it makes coral placement a lot easier. You've just got to have the patience.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, something I regret, like I said, I've mentioned before on my channel, is like with the placements on the SPS, when you get little tiny frags, you just don't think, you see them and you just place them there, just like they will in Tom's. You place them and you go, oh, there's not enough there, and you buy another one and you stick that one there, and before you know it, once they do grow in 1, 2, 3 years time, they just basically, it's coral warfare, and it's just not the right thing. But you're doing, like I said, Tom, you're doing the right thing, mate. It's absolutely fantastic. And Tom's invited us back when the water and it's all wet, and he's got corals in there.
Well, this weekend, we hope.
Well, he's going to be getting it done this weekend, and then he's kindly invited us back, so we'll be able to see it when it's all up and running. But once again, Tom, really appreciate your hospitality, mate. And so click the thumbs up, go check him out. I'll leave the link for Mick as well, obviously MBM, who's built a tank. Tom's really chuffed with it, as he should be. Custom sump.
Yeah, any colour you want, design, pictures.
Absolutely.
Mick will talk to you about it, not a problem.
Absolutely.
Doesn't always go according to plan.
No.
Be aware of that. But I think for me, any advice I give someone on a build like this is just research.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just put as much time and effort in as much money you're going to put into the project.
Yeah, for sure. Well, once again, Tom, thanks a lot for inviting me around, mate. I really appreciate it. And if you like this video, guys, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.